My boss demanded I share my fertility treatment schedule, then fired me when I got pregnant. I still remember the exact moment my career imploded. I was sitting in my boss Diana's office for my quarterly review when she slid a printout of my medical calendar across her desk. "Per the private one I keep on my phone tracking my IBA's appointments. We need to discuss how your personal situation is affecting the team," she said coldly. Yesterday, 3 months after that conversation and 2 weeks after I finally announced my pregnancy, I was called into HR and told my position was being restructured prior to the same day. Diana announced they were hiring 2 new people for my exact role. When I joined Reactions as a senior strategist 2 years ago, I thought I'd found my dream workplace. The company promoted itself as female-founded, family-friendly, and progressive. Diana, the founder, frequently gave interviews about supporting women in the workplace and the importance of work-life balance. What the glossy interviews didn't show was Diana's obsession with control and her expectation that employees' priorities work above everything, including health and family. My husband and I had been trying to conceive for 4 years. After multiple miscarriages and failed treatments, we decided to try one final round of IVF. The process required frequent monitoring appointments, often scheduled last minute based on hormone levels. I tried to arrange them before work hours when possible, but sometimes I'd need to come in late or leave early. I never missed deadlines. I worked through lunch. I stayed late to make up hours. My performance reviews were stellar. Still, I noticed Diana's tight smile whenever I mentioned a morning appointment. Then came the quarterly review that changed everything. Diana had somehow accessed my personal calendar part at the one since to my phone, but not to our work system. There it was, color-coded and annotated. "Egg retrieval, hormone check, embryo transfer. You should have disclosed you were undergoing fertility treatments," she said. "The team needs dependability." I was stunned. "These are private medical appointments. I've met all my deadlines and made up any time missed. Moving forward, I want your full treatment schedule on my desk. I need to know exactly when you'll be out and for how long, knowing my rights." But fearing for my job, I provided vague time frames without specific medical details. Diana's micromanagement intensified, pert texts asking why I was offline for 30 minutes, demands that I join calls from doctors' waiting rooms, suggestions that I consider pausing treatments until after the Peterson campaign. Against all odds, our final SIVE round was successful. At 12 weeks after seeing a strong heartbeat, I finally shared my pregnancy news with HR, requesting information about maternity leave policies. 2 days later, Diana stopped speaking to me directly. Projects were reassigned without explanation. My meeting invites were rescinded. Yesterday, HR called me in dove to departmental restructuring. "Your position is being eliminated," the representative said, sliding a severance agreement across the table. The same move Diana had made with my medical calendar months earlier. 3 hours later, still in shock, I received a company-wide email from Diana announcing an exciting growth phase with 2 new openings for senior strategists. With my exact qualifications, when I forwarded the email to HR questioning the elimination of my role, the representative responded, "The new positions have different reporting structures and slightly modified responsibilities." This morning, I consulted an employment attorney who nearly dropped her coffee when I showed her the timeline of events and Diana's demand for my fertility treatment schedule. "They couldn't have made this discrimination case clearer if they tried," she said. "I've spent the day wondering how many other women have faced similar treatment behind Diana's female empowerment facade. How many chose between career advancement and starting a family because of bosses like her? Some people build their success by tearing down the very people they claim to support. Others recognize that employees with full lives outside work bring more to the table, not less. I know which kind of leader I want to be, and which kind I'll be warning other women about."